Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to Nana Knows so I can keep you in the know on important updates and some coming information. Today we are going to talk about who qualifies for the child tax credit that we have been hearing so much about. But before we get into this video, if I can get you to go ahead and hit the like button and hopefully the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to my channel. If you have, I thank you. And if not, please consider subscribing so I can continue to bring you important videos to help you live your best life like me. Today, we're going to talk about in the video, we're going to talk about tax relief that is coming to millions of families within the next few weeks. We also are going to talk about the new online portal that the Internal Revenue has recently released. And we're going to talk about additional portals that are underway and being released soon. So you want to make sure you stay tuned to my channel so I can tell you as soon as those updates are released. Also, we are going to talk about why you may want to opt out or unenroll from these monthly payments. Let's get started. First, we are going to talk about who qualifies. Who qualifies for this child tax credit that will bring millions of payments to an estimated millions of families? You must have filed a 2019 or 2020 tax return and claim the child tax credit on that return. Also, you must have given your information in 2020 to receive the economic income payment. Or you may have given the Internal Revenue your information in the 2020 tax year to receive the economic impact payment or stimulus payment using the non-filer tool. Your main home has to be in the United States for more than half of the year. Or you must have filed with a spouse whose main home was in the United States for more than half of the year. You must have a qualifying child who is under age 18 at the end of 2021 and who has a valid Social Security number. And of course, there are certain income limits. Then this information will be used to automatically enroll you into receiving advance payments. Yes, the payments are in advance. It's like you're going to your employer and you're saying, I want my paycheck early. That's what these payments that will begin in July are. You're getting an advance on monies that should be due you when you file your 2021 tax return. The Internal Revenue has already begun sending out this letter 6416. This letter basically just notifies you that you have been identified as being eligible to receive one of these automatic payments and that you really do not have to do anything. You're already eligible and you already will be receiving the payment unless if you opt out. The Internal Revenue has released a non-filer portal. The non-filer portal will allow you to provide your required information about yourself, your dependents, your qualified children, and any bank information if you have not already provided that to the Internal Revenue. The only individuals that need to use this non-filer tool is if you did not file a tax return in 2019 or 2020. And you did not use the Internal Revenue non-filer tool to register for economic impact payments or the stimulus payments. If you haven't registered for stimulus payments and you haven't filed a tax return, then you need to go on this recently released non-filer tool on IRS.Gov and go ahead and register yourself and dependents to make sure that you are a part of these millions of dollars coming to families with children in the next few weeks. A non-filer would be someone who does not normally file a tax return because they are not required to file a tax return, but they are potentially eligible for this child tax credit money, and they have not filed 2020 or 2019 taxes. Then you would use this non-filer portal to go ahead and provide your information to the Internal Revenue so that you can be amongst the individuals, the families that are receiving this additional child tax credit money. An upcoming online interactive tool that the Internal Revenue is scheduled to release what will be a portal that will allow you to determine whether you qualify for the child tax credit advance or not. So that is coming. On the website, they are stating that it should be released within the next few days before July 1st. So that's next week. We should expect to receive that. A second online tool that the Internal Revenue states is forthcoming is a tool called the Child Tax Credit Update Portal. On this portal, this is the portal that will allow you to opt out or to unenroll. And you probably are saying, why should I opt out, or why should I not enroll in receiving these monies? One reason you may not want to receive these monies now and rather wait and receive the money when you file your tax return is because it may be better to just get a lump sum of money, to get your credit as a lump sum in a larger amount, as opposed to receiving $250 or $300 payments per child. It depends on your individual financial liability and your individual circumstances. But if you can wait and just wait to receive these funds when you file your tax return, I would suggest waiting and receiving it as a large payout instead of receiving it in individual monthly payments. Another reason you may want to consider waiting for your payment is because these payments are in advance. Unlike the stimulus payments that were a credit and not in advance, if you're not entitled to this money and you file your tax return and it's determined that you were overpaid with these advance payments, you will have to pay this money back. It's not like the stimulus payments where if you were overpaid, your situation changed, you receive a stimulus for yourself and a dependent that you no longer claim that dependent and you really should not have gotten that stimulus. They didn't make you repay this money. This is different. You will have to repay this money. So you want to really consider about receiving this money as an advance. Make sure that your situation has not changed from last year to this year. You want to make sure when you filed your 2020 taxes that your income is still basically the same range, that your dependents are basically the same number. If anything in your circumstances or your situation has changed, then you could potentially not be eligible for some of these funds that you would have received. And that means come tax time in 2021, when we file in 2022, you will have to pay that money back. And Uncle Sam, they want their money and they want it now. So I would rather wait and file my taxes, determine how much I'm eligible for, if anything, and receive it at that time, as opposed to receiving these advance payments now and potentially have to pay it back. But that's just my take. It's something you may want to discuss with your tax preparer. Look at your individual financial situation and see what is best for you. That's pretty much all I had today to discuss on the child tax credit. But I did want to point out today that what I'm wearing, it comes from Freda Jones, and she has really nice items available. Check her out on Instagram and Facebook. The name is Hands of a Diamond Craft. So check her out. She has some really nice items, and this shirt was provided by her today. And thank you for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day and live your best life like me.